The defensive effort that we saw from the Knicks in Game 6 was on another level. It made me wonder, where was this level of defense all season? Well, according to reports, the reason we saw this level of defense is because the Knicks held a team meeting to discuss their issues and how to move forward together as a team. And the result? The best defensive performance that we've seen from this team all season long. We're going to break down exactly what was said during that team meeting and all of these latest reports today. But before we get started, about 52% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications on as well too. If you want to support the channel, the easiest way to do that is to hit that subscribe button. And now, let's get started. The Knicks hold a team meeting. The New York Knicks are on their way back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Can you tell that I'm happy? Can you tell that I'm excited? Can you tell that I am hyped? Because we are finally going back to the place we should have been last year, but we couldn't get to. Now we go back there and we get to take revenge against the team that sent us home last year. And if the Knicks want to take down the Indiana Pacers, then that same level of defense that we saw from them during Game 6 against the Boston Celtics, we're going to need to see that same level of defense this Wednesday for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And the groundwork for that, the secret to that defense may already be in place. According to reports, after Game 5, where the Knicks were blown off the floor by the Boston Celtics, they held the team meeting. They discussed all of the team issues that they had in the postseason, including their defense. And multiple players spoke out during that team meeting, including Jalen Brunson and Miles McBride. But before we discuss what the players had to say, let's first talk about the situation, how it happened, and what made this team meeting happen in the first place. According to Fred Katz, shout out to him for giving us the following information here. He's an insider with The Athletic, and he had the following to report. According to him, the day after Wednesday's 25-point defeat, a could-have-been elimination game that extended the Boston Celtics season an additional 48 hours, the Knicks players, and only the players, met at the team's practice facility in Tarrytown, New York. That's where the locker room leaders presented a message. Performances like the one in Game 5, when the Celtics outplayed, out-hustled, and outthought the Knicks, were unacceptable. Unacceptable. And that is from the team leaders. So you know Jalen Brunson spoke. You know Karl Anthony Towns spoke. And I'm sure a couple of other players spoke as well. We're going to get to that in a little bit later. But for right now, according to Katz, the dud didn't come out of nowhere. Various people inside the Knicks mentioned that before Game 5, the mentality heading into the evening wasn't focused enough. Katz continues here by stating, the Knicks discussed the communication issues that plagued them, why guys weren't picking up the right Celtics in transition, and why the defensive execution, which had been clean for much of their second-round series, turned into a mess for one night at TD Arena. The gist of the discourse? Get it together and compete. One day later, the Knicks competed in a way they hadn't this season, this decade, or maybe even this century. And what is he talking about? He's talking about the 38-point beatdown, blowout win that the Knicks got over the Boston Celtics in Game 6. That was a statement win, and it told everybody in the league that not only do the Knicks belong in the postseason, we are a legitimate championship contender. But when we play defense like that, at that level, that elite level, where everybody on the floor understands the assignment, understands what they need to do, but more than anything else, understands how to communicate with one another on switches, where other players are, and everything like that. Because when you start to do that, and you're comfortable doing that, and you build that habit, the team gets better overall. And that's exactly what we saw in Game 6. And as I mentioned earlier, a number of players spoke out during that team meeting, including the captain, Jalen Brunson. And recently, when speaking to Fred Katz of The Athletic, he revealed the following about that meeting and what they discussed. Before we get back to today's show, I want to give a special thanks to today's sponsor, MyBookie. The NBA playoffs have officially begun. Whether you're cheering for the Knicks or you're watching any other series going on, MyBookie helps you score big on every three-pointer, every monster slam, and every buzzer beater. Place bets live as the action unfolds. And if you're feeling confident, MyBookie's quick cash out option lets you lock in your winnings early. If you're new to MyBookie, use promo code MM50 to instantly boost your first deposit. Deposit $50, get an extra $25 back. Deposit $100, get an extra $50 back. And when the playoffs are completed, MyBookie's casino gives you even more opportunities to win with slots, blackjack, roulette, and more. It never stops. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And now, let's get back to the show. Shout out to Fred Katz for giving us this following information. According to Jalen Brunson, he stated the following: the whole day of Game 5, it just wasn't us. And we knew that. We reflected on it, and we came back and we said, we need to be ready. We need to be better. The way we prepared, the way we talked out there, the way we made it an emphasis to have each other's back and to continue to cover for each other. Focus on the little things. And we did that. And shout out to SNY's Ian Bagley for giving us this piece of information from Deuce McBride. According to Bagley, several players mentioned the film sessions and a meeting between games 5 and 6 as the catalyst for what we saw during Friday's Game 6 and the beatdown that we witnessed in the process. According to Deuce McBride, he stated the following about that team meeting. According to him, we had to talk it out, figure out how to communicate better. And I feel like we just went out there with a different type of energy. And one thing I can say absolutely certain, without any doubts in my mind, the way the Knicks looked out there, the way they were talking, communicating, switching, moving, it was night and day from Game 5. You could see it clearly, the communication aspect, which basically every single Knicks player spoke about regarding that team meeting. That is exactly what that meeting was about. I'm sure they touched on a lot of different factors, a lot of different aspects, but the main one was communication. Why? Because it's been bad. It's been poor. You want to know how I know that? I use these. I use my eyes. And when I see two players switch on the same player, leaving a Drew Holiday or a Derek White open, I know we have communication issues. I know there is a communicative breakdown and the Knicks have to fix it, and credit to them. They knew they had a problem. They held a team meeting. They corrected that problem, and then in Game 6, they destroyed and dominated the defending champions, knocked them out, eliminated them, and cashed their ticket all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And they did it because of that elite defense. This is another year. These two teams, the Knicks and the Pacers, will face off again in the postseason. The rivalry is back on. Only this time, the stakes are much higher. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. And funny enough, the last time the Knicks were in the ECF was 25 years ago. And their opponent? The Indiana Pacers. It's like it was written to happen this way. It is must-watch basketball. Only this time, we have the opportunity to take them down and go all the way to the NBA Finals. And after that team meeting that got our defense right, I am feeling so hype, so hopeful, and I believe that this Knicks team can do anything this year, anything this season, and that includes breaking the drought and bringing a championship home. The New York City. It's our time. New York, we're here, and we're not going anywhere. But what about you guys? What do you think about these following reports indicating that the Knicks had a team meeting, and that's the main reason for their level of defense that we saw in Game 6 against the Boston Celtics? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.